All right, so this is the first inaugural local knowledge blog campaign interview. A big thanks to Namibia L for being our first candidate to sit down with us. And let's just start with the basics. Who are you and why are you running?
Um, I'm Namibia L. I'm from Camden, originally from the Parkside section of Camden. I live here in Centerville now. I'm a mother of three girls. My background is education. I've taught in the city for almost 20 years. My background is not only education but also community. I am a part of the Unity Community Center, which is a longstanding organization, nonprofit organization that has martial arts, that has African dance, that's known not only in the city, but are ambassadors for Camden around the country and around the world. There, I am on their chair, I'm on the board, and also I'm one of their martial arts instructors in African dance. So, why am I running? I'm running because I have always been involved in community and involved with the youth and involved with people and been advocating for our community center. I don't know if you know, we had a building that was donated to us about 15 years ago on Hatton Avenue, Atlantic. We inherited a tax lien on that building, and that building's still sitting there. It's vacant. Um, uh, we have had promises that we will get help from the different elected officials that we've helped get into office, um, and we've seen them help a number of people, a number of groups, but we have not received any help. And the community center is a safe haven for young people. Just here recently, we had lost a young man who was getting ready to graduate high school.
Mhm.
That occurred at the same time when we had our African dance and our martial arts class, um, and 2 blocks away.
Right.
And how many more young people could we help if we had a larger facility? So we got tired of going to city council meetings and complaining. And um, you're aware that I ran 2 years ago.
Right.
This is not my first run. I ran for a ward seat, and it was out of that frustration of going to the school board meetings and going to the city council meetings and talking to elected officials and having it fall on deaf ears and promises that they would do something about it, and watching them do things for others that are not even from the community. So if you have people that are elected officials, like President Obama said in his farewell speech, if you're not happy with the people who are in office, then you run your own candidate, or you get a petition and you go and you run for yourself. And that's what I decided to do. Instead of complaining about things, I decided to take a stand and be a voice for people like myself who wants to make a difference, who's here, who's vested in the community, and has been overlooked and basically neglected by our elected officials.
All right. So one of the things we want to do today is just have a casual conversation, but one that touches on policy details. So,
Okay.
residents and our readership can get a sense of what you're going to do in your position if you were to win the primary and then go on to win the general election. So let's just start with that first day. So you win, it's your first day on the job. What's your first priority or your first action as a city council person?
Well, as a city council person, it's not just me.
Right.
It's different than a mayoral candidate or someone who is going to be mayor. I would be one of seven. So my first thing would be to sit down and talk to my colleagues at that time, my co-council members, and just to get so we can all be on at least one accord and find out where do we agree and where can we compromise. My next thing would be to hold meetings with the community to around the city. That hasn't happened. When I ran a couple years ago, people still thought that the previous council person from a long time ago was still the council person, and they didn't know who their council person was, and that's a problem. So when I've been going around door to door, and people say, "Will you come? Will you come back?" And I have to keep my word. Yes, come back and talk and get down to basically how old community organizing, having people come together, finding out what their problems and their concerns are, and seeing how we can graft an agenda to move forward for the next few years.
And what are you hearing from them as you go door to door? What's your sense of what'll come out of that community involvement? What policy issues would they want you as a council person to touch on and to prioritize?
People like that there's development at the waterfront level, but they want to they want to be a part of it. People need jobs. There, if there's buildings that are going up, then there needs to be signs that are going up saying that we're hiring, or there needs to be training that's taking place. Not training where you just have 40 people and 2 people graduate. It needs to be living wage jobs that are for our residents. So from the young people to even the senior citizens, they want part-time jobs to supplement, their fixed income. So jobs across the slate, across the city, that's what's needed, and that's what we're hearing.